Well, hello, 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 hello. It's Sunday afternoon. It's the Mikey Laugh Show, and I apologize for a little bit of a late start. We're a couple of minutes past 6 p.m. I hope I have my housekeeping done this afternoon so it won't put me into a tailspin. All right, let's see. Michaela, I'm live when you're walking into my live stream. Bring me a bottle of water as well. That'd be really nice. All right, so let's get the link out. Thank you. So the link is copied. And any minute now I could share it. And all that noise is kind of feeding into my life, my daughter dearest. All right, so we're on. How was your Sunday afternoon, guys? It's your girl, Mikey. I have scheduled to be with me, Julia Elva. Let me just call her right now to remind her and give her little tips as to how to get herself set up. I have a million in the house. I want to welcome you and thank you for coming.
Hey, Mikey.
All right, Julia.
Yeah.
All right, so I sent you that link. This is how you're going to get onto my channel. And then in the chat, I have dropped the link already for you to hit to come into the studio with me.
Okay.
All right, so.
When?
No, it's 6 o'clock. It's 5 minutes past 6 o'clock.
Now we're doing the chat?
Yes, Julia.
You're crazy. Now I thought you were doing the chat thing. Okay, well, I have a client. So let me just finish. And then I'll do it.
All right, so I'm here waiting on you.
Okay.
All right, so while we're at it, we'll make sure that everything is fine housekeeping-wise. Let me just quickly do that. I should have done that before. Oh, my goodness. But I did set things up. It's 6 o'clock someplace. Let's see if I have it all set here so I don't have to keep dashing around. Right, guys, so it promises to be an interesting Sunday afternoon this afternoon. Our scheduled topic. All right, so what is this now? We're scheduled to talk about taking the power back. And Julia has quite a powerful story. I'm just hoping that she would get her she'd get a chance to be here because we just prepped and we just talked, and then I told her we we're going to go on 6 o'clock, and she was a little bit startled a while ago, so we'll just kind of see what happens. Oh my goodness. All right, why is my YouTube studio not cooperating right this minute? All right, so where's everybody else? It's Sunday afternoon. It's the Mikey Laugh Show. Normally we get here at 6. I was a couple of minutes late. Don't chastise. All right, so I'm going to just be here in a little while here, just waiting on you to come on into the studio. Come on in and let's just have a nice, rousing discussion this afternoon. I don't understand what is going on right here now. Suddenly again. Welcome to the Mikey Laugh Show. Come on in, come on in. Carry me a Kiko Street Market, not a quality what sell. We have 1 million in the house. Will somebody say something to me? Say hi. Let me know that you are here. Say something in the chat. I don't know. I think I have too much light. Maybe if I turn some of my light off. But I've been having such a. All right, so let's see. I don't understand why I can't pull up my studio here. There's 2 million in the house, guys. Will you please say hello to me? Say hello to me in the chat. Come on in. Come on in. Tell me what you've been grateful for. What can you be grateful for today? That's always how we kick it off. Come on in, guys. Come on in while we wait on Julia. She's not going to be too long. And while you're at it, what are some things in your own life that could possibly happen to make you feel as though you've lost your power? Let's talk about it this afternoon. Let's talk about what could possibly throw us off our A game, and let's talk about what we could possibly do to just get us back on track again. Because in the race of life, bring the thing. I can't understand what is happening here. Is something going wrong? No, nothing is going wrong with the internet because for some reason I'm not getting internet on my phone. 2 million in the house. Will somebody come on out and say hello to me? Will somebody say something in the chat? 2 million in the house. Why is this girl bother me? Oh my goodness. And one decided not to go. It's this way. All right, so that's one straight. Hold on, I'll do it again. I can't believe Julia. Julia needs to get here. We just got done talking. I said, Julia, must I put it down to 6:30? She said, no, we'll do that 6. Then suddenly she seems really very surprised. Huh? Okay, guys, so come on in to the Michael Laugh Show. We're ready to go. There are 2 people in the house, 2 million in the house. Write something in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Let me check on Julia again. I can't understand what is happening here. Did I lose my charge? No. Right, guys. So think about it. What are some of the things or anything that could have possibly happened in your life that could have made you feel as though you had lost your power? Tonight, we're going to talk about them and we're going to say, what are some things that we could do to get our power back? Because like a flashlight, if the flashlight has no batteries, it does not have the potential to give light. So if you've lost your power, if you've lost electricity, everything that's in the refrigerator is going to go bad. There's going to be no light. Possibly there's going to be no heated water. Everything is just not going to be as normal when you have lost the power. So that's what we're going to explore this afternoon. And maybe because we're in a situation where um, we've experienced so much turbulence, we've experienced lockdown, we've experienced all sorts of things over this period. And I'm sure that there's some people someplace who are maybe feeling a little displaced and who have really felt that the power is gone. But I'm here to say the power isn't gone. We're just going to tap into the situation, identify what's going wrong, and then we're going to come up with some strategies as to how we could remediate and correct. 2 million in the house. If you're here with me, I'm going to ask you to say something in the chat. Just let me know that you're here. All right, so everything is fine. I've done my housekeeping and everything is great. Teflon Don, it's good to have you. Thank you so very much for being here. At least you said hi. How are you doing this afternoon? Oh my goodness gracious. I don't like to wear my glasses. I feel better without them, but I can't see without them. Right, so we're saying we're going to take the power back tonight. I'm saying we're in a situation where some of us may be able to displace, some of us have lost the power physically, mentally. We're just going to have a little discussion this afternoon. I do have a featured guest. I'm waiting on her and I'm waiting for some people to come along. So if you could share me out, that would be really very nice. Tell somebody else to come on out. Let's have a discussion. I can't have a discussion by myself. That's not even so nice. Hi, Teflon. It's really very good to have you. Thank you so very much for coming. What can you be grateful for today? What is it that you were grateful for yesterday? Is there something today special that happened that you could be grateful for? Tell me about it in chat. And then I'm going to touch bases with my guest again. Let me touch base with Terrain to let some of my folks know that I am here and I don't intend to be here by my lonesome now. Thank you so much, Teflon. I realized you shared me with. I thank you very much. I think you've been such a very, very supportive YouTuber. And I want to say to anybody who could hear me, Teflon Don is an amazing YouTuber. He has an amazing channel as well. And if you have not yet connected, it wouldn't be a bad idea. All right, Teflon, I thank you so much. I saw that. I thank you so much. All right, and then you can start thinking about it, Teflon. Just tell me in what ways can people feel as though they have lost their power? And when I say your power, I mean it's as though you feel as though the dust or the strength that you have is gone. Suddenly you just don't feel like you're your true self. You just feel that everything is not going your way. Things are just not the way they used to be. You feel a little lifeless and a little powerless. Is there anything that you can think of that could put people in such a situation? This is what we're going to talk about this afternoon. I thank you so much for sharing me out. Oh my goodness gracious. Bad energy. Oh yes, oh yes. If you are in any sort of a toxic relationship at all, that is one of the things I had in mind. Yes, a toxic relationship is one thing that could get you that way, because when you're in a toxic situation, it's as though your own energy is so sapped. It's like you are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulder, and that person, everything about the surrounding is just not positive, and invariably you drink in the vibes, and suddenly if you have ideas and you share it with that person, it's as though the ideas are never right and there's always something wrong, and nothing seems to be going right. A toxic relationship can do that, drain your energy and sap your energy. Oh my goodness. Welcome to Aya's Kitchen. Welcome to the house. You know something? I drop the link, and if somebody wants to come up, I don't say no at all, because I have a scheduled guest. I'm not so sure what is happening there, because we talked like 15 or so minutes, and then when I called her up, she said, "Is it now?" So I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Give me 1 second again. I'm going to reach out to her again and see what her true situation is. It's 20 minutes into the hour and she's not forthcoming. Taya's Kitchen, I thank you so very much for coming. Tonight we're looking at, and I thank you very much for sharing me out. You see that I need the crowd to come on over. Tonight we're going to look at anything that could possibly take the power that we have away from us. And we're going to look at some of those things, and then we're going to look at what we need to do in order to get the strength back. And maybe at the end, I'll say, after you've got the strength back, how does that really actually make you feel? All right. And Teflon threw out that if you're in a toxic relationship, that is one thing that could definitely sap your power. And I do agree with him, because people, when you're in a toxic relationship, there's so much bad energy around that it doesn't matter what you have, what kind of energy you have. It's like suddenly you feel watered down, and you just feel as though you're just not heading where you ought to be. Your confidence level is just not where it is to be. It doesn't feel good. I thank you so much for sharing me, Otaya. I'm checking on my guest again. Give me 2 seconds. In the meantime, I'm going to share the link again, so that if somebody feels like coming up and wanting to share thoughts on the topic, you can feel free. All right. So other than a toxic relationship, is there anything else that you could think of that could possibly put you in? I can think of what's happening right now. Lockdown. I don't know about anybody else, but as soon as there was a lockdown, I don't know, it felt as though I locked down too. I felt as though I lost the wind out of my sail, and I didn't realize that interacting with people meant so much. I didn't, I mean, I always knew that it was great to interact with people, but it's as though when lockdown came, I was just lost. So that is one thing that I think could have taken like the wind out of your sail. And then all the other things that go along with lockdown. We've experienced loss of lives. People have lost loved ones. So loss overall is something that can bring about this feeling of helplessness, and this feeling of imbalance and just not being on top of things. All right, I can think of maybe in my own life, in my own journey. I remember when I first decided to get out of the classroom to get into sales. And I'm going to tell you, this is one situation that made me feel as though I had lost my power. I don't know. I don't know about anybody else, but it was pregnancy, an untimed pregnancy. I can't. I don't know. I never had it in the cards. I just don't know where it came from. I can't say I don't know where it came from, but honestly, I remember how I was just chatting around with my girlfriend one time, and then we got into a little conversation, and suddenly she was kind of asking me some very personal questions. And when I was telling her no, she said, "Mikey, I think you're off." And I said, "Do you think?" And that was when I shot to the doctor that Monday morning, I remember. And then when I did that pregnancy test, I remember sitting there watching the little needle spinning around, and then it was spinning around, and then it was just becoming totally red. Oh my God. It's like I felt as though my whole world caved in because I was in the safe confines of a classroom situation, whereas having, in Jamaica, we had maternity leave. So if you were pregnant, you could actually leave. I think it was 3 months. You could leave for 3 months and then go and have the baby and then come back after 3 months, and you would have been paid. Does anybody remember that situation? This is how it is. Is it still like that in Jamaica? You have maternity leave. You could go off to have a baby and you could come back. Welcome, Mama's Handprint. Welcome to Mikey Laughs. It's great to have you. I thank you so very much for coming. We're having a little discussion this afternoon. I should have had a featured guest. I'm not quite sure why my featured guest is not here yet. I don't know if she's in the background someplace, but for what it's worth, I have already shared the chat. I'm going to put it back there again. And I'm saying if there's anybody else who is on the floor who wants to come up and just talk with me, because you know how it is. Sometimes the discussion really does flow nicely when there's somebody else here. But we're keeping on and we're going on because my show has to go on. Right. So I was telling you now that Teflon mentioned that being in a toxic relationship is one thing that could make you feel powerless and make you feel as though your power is gone. And I was saying yes. And then I was sharing now that an untimed pregnancy can be one situation with a woman to just throw her off balance and make her feel as though everything's not going in the right direction. So I was sharing now how when I first got into sales, how, I don't know, I was sailing up and down and didn't realize that I was pregnant. And I'm telling you, the discovery, it knocked the wind out of me. Honestly, it knocked the wind out of me because, as I was saying, I was in a situation where I was in the classroom. I would have had maternity leave. Now I had embarked onto sales. It was total commissions. I mean, what was I going to do? But maybe I will save what I did for when I get to how to take your power back. Yeah, because the situation, it could have had a sad ending. It could have had a sad ending. Idita, welcome. You see how Mikey's face is lighting up. It's good to see you. It's great to see you, Idita. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming, Jojo. I love it when you come. Thank you so much. Oh, your connection is not so hot. It's in and out. All right. Well, I am still saying if there's anybody on the floor who wants to come up, I have shared the link. I'll share it again because it's a discussion. It's a nice discussion. When I can hear somebody's voice, it makes it so very nice. So I am saying let's just talk about getting the power back. What are some things that can happen in your life? Or is there something that has happened in your life that made you feel as though you had lost the power? And what did you do to get the power back? I am saying that the pandemic is one thing that could make you feel a little powerless. Maybe you have that same feeling. What is it that you have been doing to get that powerful feeling again? No, I was just sharing an old experience. I was saying an untimed pregnancy could possibly throw you off whack, and I was just sharing my own experience. But I'm going to tell you that experience, you know how sometimes out of a bad situation, I don't want to say a bad situation because to have have life and to have a gift like that from God is never a bad situation. So, and I'm telling you, my daughter has grown up to be such a sweet darling of a girl. She's such a blessing. So I thank God every day. It didn't matter that it took me by surprise. I thank God every day that I have her. But I'm telling you, I remember the first time while I was at work when somebody approached me. And you know, sometimes there are some situations that you don't want to talk about. And this girl came over to me. I remember the day, you know, I was wearing and kind of like an all-in-one, what you call them, the plaza. But I guess by then my baby bump was getting ready to show. I didn't even realize, but she just came over to me and she said, Mikey, are you pregnant? And I said, oh my God. I broke into tears. I mean, I just fell apart because I don't know why I still had that awkward feeling, almost as though I still wanted to hide it. But she just came over and she just said it. And I said, oh my gracious God. So the story is out. Everybody knows. So I thought I was just kind of masking my thing with, you know, little kind of loose things, but no, everybody knew. But it was at the same time when I was trying to make the $1 million round table. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with insurance, you understand that there's a very prestigious award that is given to an insurance professional once you have cleared like 1 million in premium income. So it's something that every insurance professional vies after. And that's something that I was going after. And then when I became pregnant, I was thinking, how on earth was I going to manage? So for the first couple of months, I spent a lot of time wiped out and just wanting to throw the towel in and not feeling as though I could just go through with it. And I felt I spent a lot of time beating myself and being sorry for myself and wondering if I had done the right thing because, like I said, I had walked away from maternity leave and now I'm going to be by myself, and it was just sole commissions. I mean, I had all sorts of fear, and it's like I had lost my power. But something told me that if I fixed my eyes on the prize, that I could still do it. And I'm telling you, I'm gay. You probably remember Norma. Norma is the best fashion designer, dressmaker, whatever you want to call it, I've ever come across. And I'm telling you, I went to Norma and I told Norma, I said, listen to me, Norma, you know what I want you to do? I want you to make me the most gorgeous formal maternity things that you can make. Just go all out for me and make me some really nice things. And I'm telling you, that girl made me some formal tops, and then she made the skirts just and then I you know, she made the skirts just curve fitting and just nipped right where it should, not exposing me too much, but really making me look the best that I could possibly look. And let me tell you something, I made such a fashion statement with that pregnancy because in my mind, I was deciding that nothing was going to take my power. And as I talk to you now, I'm remembering. I remember how I was prospecting, and I remember how my boss then kept encouraging me. I remember one time I took a trip. I lived in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. I want to pause to welcome Besa Young Chef Lifestyle. Chef, I thank you so very much for coming. The link is in the chat. If you want to come up, I would appreciate that. That would be so nice of you. We're talking about taking the power back. We're talking about taking the power back. And I know you could contribute to that story, Chef, because I know that you, because of the pandemic, you have had to move out to the province. But I saw your kitchen and I saw the building and I saw it's going up. It's amazing. So I realized that you are taking the power back. You had 3 or so restaurants you had to close, but are you giving up? No, you are taking the power back. So I'm thinking that if you wanted to join me up here, it would be a nice idea, but I'm still sharing my story and I'm still hoping that my guests will come. Right, so I'm telling you, I went to my stylist and I decided that I wanted the nicest formal maternity things that I could, just to give me that boost. Because you know how when you're in a situation when you want to boost your confidence, people say get yourself some new clothes, get yourself something fresh to just look different, to make a fashion statement. So I got those things, and believe you me, I remember one incident. I had talked to this gentleman. I used to do very creative things to get myself prospects. So Alpart, Alumna Partners of Jamaica, was one of my, Norma was the best designer that I've ever come across. Oh, come on, Chef. And you don't have to share your face. If you don't want to share it, show your face, you don't have to either. You could come on up. So you're just making excuses. And you're a guy, so you can't be having a bad hair day. No, Norma really is. I'm telling you, she's amazing. She's amazing, amazing. Right. And I'm telling you, so I used to go out to Alpart. I asked for like a couple of hours on a daily basis or ever so often to be there, so that the gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen who worked there actually knew that this insurance woman would be on site. So that was one of the things that I put into gear. I asked so that I could be there. So I wasn't driving all over the place to find clients now. I used to get onto the plant, and they gave me a little office space. So all the people, when they had free time, came to me, and man alive, I started to increase my sales. And my manager was keeping up with me, and he was keeping up with me. And every chance he got, he gave me an update. And I saw myself getting closer and closer to the mark. And I can remember there was this gentleman who lived in Mandeville. And after I talked to him on the plant, he pretty much, I could see that he wanted to buy the plan. And that plan would have given me the kind of premium income that would have taken me across the line. But you know how it is with sales. You make a presentation, this time you go back, they ask you something else. He wants me to run another quote. I go back, I bring the thing back. We kept being like that. And at one point, I started to lose hope. I kind of started to feel that maybe this guy is just taking me for a ride. But the $1 million round table was so much in my head. It just seemed as though all I was saying to myself, I am going to make the situation of being pregnant at such an awkward time in my life. I'm going to make this thing work for me. And I'm telling you, I began to think maybe it did, because I think the sales started to come in. I think it could have been the nice way that Norma dressed me up in those fashionable, professional, tailored looking maternity clothes. It could have been that. Or, I mean, maybe they could have just seen that this woman was not going to give up. I want to pause to welcome Tara's blogs and dialogues. Tara, you know how happy you make me when you come into the house. It's good to have you. And I know that you're going to have your presentation at 8 o'clock. But you know how I don't like to be alone up here. So my link is in the chat. And I know that I would get some power out of you. So if you want to come to join me here as I expound how to get the power back, it would be just so nice. All right, so I'm telling you my little story now. So this gentleman now, he had me going back and forth and back and forth. And the last time we had an interview, he invited me to his house in Mandeville. Now, I don't even like to go to people's houses, but I was just so bent on getting what I needed to qualify for the $1 million round table. I was not going to let the opportunity miss me. I knew money was not the factor, because sometimes you're running after a sale and sometimes the person is giving you a runaround because the person doesn't have any money. I knew that money was not an issue with this gentleman. I mean, he had a top position at Alpart, so I knew it wasn't money. I don't know what aspect of the plan I hadn't sold him, but he was just holding on. And I was so determined. So I drove to Mandeville. I actually drove to Mandeville and I sat with him. But when I got there and I realized that he was asking me to just tell him about that plan again, it's like almost as though my power went into my feet. I suddenly felt the power slipping away again, because I had, to the best of my knowledge, he was already sold. I was just now going there to take the information so that I could put the business on the books. But there was he asking me again, almost as though he was asking me to resell him. You'll come up for 10 minutes. I'll take you for however long you want to come. It's nice to have company. All right, so there it is. So I got there. The gentleman gave me that. Oh my goodness. But I took it in hand. I'm not going to lie to you. While I sat there with him, more than once, I thought of crying, because a little bit of humiliation started to come onto me. I just felt he was giving me a hard time. But I sat there and I did the presentation again. And I was really now just expecting that gentleman to take his checkbook out and sign on the dotted line so that I could be leaving. And that man said, like, give him a little time to think about it. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to lie. I had a girlfriend who lived in Mandeville someplace, and I drove to her flat, and that is where I cried. I really cried. When I tell you, I poured my heart out, because it's almost as though I had come so close. And like I said, it's as though, because of the fact that I was pregnant and feeling out of place, I wanted so much to kill this, because I think, you know, sometimes when you have, it's almost like you have an axe to grind. When something like that happens to you and you feel as though your power is gone, you feel a little let down, and you feel a little as though you were not in control of a situation, you want to do something almost as though you want to prove to yourself and prove to everybody else. So when that man took me off my A game that day, I tell you, it took my breath away. So I drove over to my girlfriend's house, and man alive, I let it out. And I'm telling you, after that little meltdown session, I drove out again. And I'm not going to lie to you, I got maybe to Spur Tree and got a telephone call from that man. The man said, come back. He's ready to sign. And I'm saying to myself, should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? But you know something? Here's what this is. When you feel as though your power is gone, you have to dig really very deeply. So man alive, I dug very deeply that day. And I drove back to Mandeville. And I got the information from that gentleman. And then insurance professionals carried a briefcase. Man alive, I can't tell you how happy I was when I put that information and the premium dollars in my briefcase. I think I probably drove straight home. Nothing made me happier. And then you want to hear the rest of the story? I wrote the policy that I needed to qualify myself for the $1 million roundtable. And I'm not going to lie to you. It was the very first time that I had done it as an insurance professional. And I'm not going to lie to you. It was a very exciting, exhilarating. I can't tell you. I was beyond myself with excitement. 6 months into my pregnancy. So believe you me, having achieved that goal at that point, I was able to relax. I mean, because I'm not going to lie to you. I made a bonus of 450,000 Jamaican dollars. A bonus that year. So it's like, here's another reason, guys, why I tell you I laugh. I'm able to laugh because there have been so many obstacles that have come into my life and so many things that have come to make me think, okay, Tara is here. I'm getting so powerful, I don't even see her. Tara J. Blogs and Blogs, you came to my rescue. You're a trooper. I love you so much.
What's up, my darling?
I thank you so much. Girl, I'm telling you, you know something? I didn't even remember the story, but I should have had a guest this afternoon, and she had the biggest, most powerful story about getting the power back. And I was just so glad to share. I don't understand what happened.
Uh-oh.
Understand? Because we just talked. I don't know. We just talked. Suddenly she said she had a client. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm not even hearing back from her. But we'll just let it be.
Yes, maybe. Yes, maybe another time.
We say refer that time, yes. But no, I'm telling you, it's like I'm just overwhelmed again when I remember this incident, because I'm telling you, I don't know why. I was a married woman. I don't know why being pregnant made me feel so awkward. Oh my God, it's like it was like my whole world. I think I know why it was.
I think from what happened?
I think I know why it
Sorry
was.
about that.
I think I know
Okay,
why.
oh.
I think I know why it was. I think in my mind, I think my marriage was not headed in the right direction. And I think a new baby was like a very devastating, I don't know, it just never made me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then you know how that is. That is like
Mm-hmm.
whole life to figure out now.
Mm-hmm. Not just yours alone, but somebody
Not
else.
mine alone. Yeah. And then the dynamic of being together and not together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I know that's probably why the whole thing was just it was so devastating. But you know,
Yeah.
I don't even, I shouldn't even say it, because I'm telling you, my daughter is like a gift.
You know something, Mikey, truth be told, she is precious, but I think many mothers, upon finding out that they are like that, especially when it's not planned, and as you say, things are not in the right place, there's a certain kind of fear that might
Yeah,
come over you while you feel that way, because
right,
you become aware now that you are not only responsible for you, but a life that is within your, your being.
right.
That is
Yeah,
your responsibility. You're
right.
supposed to
And
make
shaping
decisions,
her.
supposed to
Yeah.
shape.
Oh yeah.
So
So
it's
it changed the
understandable
whole
story.
it changed the whole dynamic.
Yes,
Yeah, because it got me to like to 16 years. Yes, because suddenly, you would have had to fight for something
You're
else.
looking at me.
You know,
Yes. I'm trying to
yeah.
get this.
All right, let me pause, Tara, to welcome Britannia Johnson and that girl Shernet Vlogs. I thank you so very much for coming. I don't remember ever seeing that girl Shernet Vlogs, so it seems as though we have a new visitor. Welcome to Mikey Laughs. I'm glad that you're here. We're talking about taking the power back. I have so many things to say. Emotion is in the house. I thank you so much. Welcome to Mikey Laughs, meet and greet and mingle. Oh my goodness, it's good to have you all. Tara, it is so good to have you up here. It's just so comfortable to have somebody on the board.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. So
Mhm.
Teflon at the start said a toxic relationship could make you feel as though you've lost your power and take you off your A game. I was just now sharing just an on-time pregnancy and how it kind of took me off and how I had to fight to keep my power. Tara, I don't know if there's something that you want to share um
As
with
it
the
relates
taking
to
away
taking back your power and
power.
any
Yeah.
significant incident. All right. For
Right.
me, I have many moments or many incidents where, a few, hold up.
Thank you, Chef, for coming back. Thank you all so much for coming. Stay with me. I think Tara just took your
Yeah,
location
sorry
back.
about that. hmm So I have a few, but one that is significant was when I was involved in a car accident in
Mhm.
2012.
Okay.
Um, when you move from a person being active, because I was someone that
Oh
run
yes.
around, play netball, play the
Oh
volleyball.
yes.
So I used to play for an hotel. I used to be on the parish team. I was the coach for a team. It was a
Hmm.
whole lot of things. I was that person. And then you find yourself wake up in the hospital, want to move, you realize that you can't move. As a matter of fact,
Oh
you
yes.
wake up and then somebody tell you that don't try. You're seeing faces that you don't recognize,
Yep.
and people are telling you not to try to move, blah, blah, blah. You realize that you are strapped down to a piece of board, you
Mm-hmm.
know? You realize that things that's supposed to function is just not functioning, so the light slowly coming on in your head, you know? You say,
Oh yeah.
what is this?
Wow. What's going
You know?
on?
Yeah. And when you move from being active, running up and down, play yourself, you're in JPS league, you're doing this, you're doing that, and then you find yourself for several months. Can't walk, you can't talk, your neck cannot turn. You understand me? You have a dead hand on your body that is not functional. You know, your face
I'm
all
telling you,
distorted and not staying good. People come to visit you and people literally turn their back to talk to you because they don't want to look at your face because
face.
of
Oh
how
my
it looks.
God.
And you go through that for months after months, being assisted by loved ones to just even take care of your person, the bathing
Yeah.
part. You
Oh my
understand what I'm
God.
saying?
Oh my goodness. I can
And
well understand, Tara.
yeah,
Yeah.
I recall when I was discharged from the hospital.
Hmm.
Um, hold on a second.
Pause to welcome Night Star Beauty. Thank you so much for coming. I want to welcome Paquia, Paquian, Paquio. I don't know. I hope I didn't butcher your name. I want to welcome you so very much. I thank you so much for coming. Make yourselves at home. We are talking about taking the power back. I don't know if you've had any incidents or if you have any times now or later on earlier in your life when you felt as though you had lost the power and there was something that was just overwhelming in your life and you just had to fight to get your power back. I just now shared my incident. I just, for some reason, felt that my pregnancy was untimed and I had just changed and gone into a new job situation, a sales role, as opposed to being the quiet teacher in the classroom. And so it threw me off my A game. And all right, so Tara is back.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I know
Yes.
Tara is sharing with us how she had a motor vehicle accident and she couldn't help herself. And so go ahead, Tara.
Yes. So I recall when I came to, I guess I regained consciousness by the sound of my mother's voice, because
Wow.
that is what I recall. I to date I have no recollection of the accident. Whatever I
Mm,
know is what I was told by different people.
man.
But I recall when I was discharged,
Uh-huh.
that was when my mom showed me that this is where the accident happened. I
Oh
don't
my
recall. I
goodness.
recall going in vehicle. I don't recall
Uh,
anything after that.
that cut off all of the pills.
Yeah. But and I recall after being discharged and going home for 3 weeks, I did not sleep a wink.
Mm,
I did not sleep because there was so much pain. Just to breathe itself was painful because the chest bones were all bruised off, and so just to
mhm.
take in a breath or to let it out was such agony. You understand me?
Right.
And I had blood clots all over my body. So even when the wind blows, just to blow past my skin, it was so painful. You
Mm,
understand? The neck was not, and I'm not going to list. I could easily count what was right than what was wrong, because what was wrong was
right.
too much, too many. However, and I recall in that space of the 3 weeks, I I fought and I fought. When but when it got to that point where I just felt like this was it. And there was nothing left. There was no fight left. And I recall the Tuesday night, I prayed what I thought was my last prayer.
Mm,
And I remember I prayed and I said, God, I have one child and I know she's loved, but when you are not present, sometimes things can happen. All I'm
yeah.
asking you is for them to take care of my child
Mm,
and just keep my mother safe, that even though this is rough, she'll make it through it. My sisters, because you know, we are loving people. My siblings and I, we have good
get along well.
relationship.
Uh-huh.
So that was my prayer. I remember praying because I just felt like this was it.
I'm telling you.
That
Yeah.
Tuesday night, I got 2 hours sleep. 2 hours. Remember, I haven't slept for the entire 3 weeks. That Tuesday night, after I prayed, I got 2 hours sleep. And when
Wow.
I watched, I got the 2 hours and then I woke up. And when I watched Wednesday came to light, I said, I know God is not ready for me yet.
Oh, bless you, Jesus.
There was just this, yes, and there
Yeah.
was this kind of hope that came. There was this kind of energy that comes that, you know what, Tara, you can fight through this. You
Fight and
understand
get
me?
your power back, of course.
Yes. So that particular night, and I sat and I remember when they kind of catch me up to sit upright because that I could not do on my own. And I said, okay, remember all of this was in my head because basically my mouth was also basically sewn shut. I have 12 stitches alone in my bottom lip and
Oh
other
my
parts.
God.
So I
Jeez.
I was not able to verbalize what I
Oh
was
my
thinking as
God.
well. So
It's
I
terrible.
remember just thinking that and say, you know what? this was it. And I remember the tears were coming, and I was just fighting to hold them back. And there was something in my head. I said, look here, girl, you see your pretty pitney around there, so
Oh man, she have something to
you,
fight for.
yes, you have a cause. You see your mother around there, so that gets to that hospital every morning before 7 o'clock. You have a cause. That sister that calls everybody that she knew within the medical field to call the other
Right.
persons to make sure that I got the best treatment, the best evaluation, the best everything possible at the time. You have a
Mm-hmm.
cause. And that is how I kept on reminding myself. And I got to the point where I was there, and I start counting down the stuff on my body, on my person that was not well. And what I did was I measure, and I said to myself, all right, my nose is a bit crooked, but look how close my nose is to my eyes, and both my eyes
And
are
that,
still intact.
there you go. You see?
Yes,
You see? So some of the things that we can do when we think we're losing our power is to count our blessings. Because like you
exactly.
rightly said, yeah. Uh-huh. And
And that's how I
so
had to measure. Go ahead, Mikey.
go ahead. No, it takes the feeling of helplessness goes or is lessened when you see what a blessing your having your eyesight was. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And because you see, there's a saying that says that when you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but up.
Put up. Oh
And
yeah.
I felt that is where I was. And I said, all right, girl, since the good Lord spared you and you're here, because when I prayed that prayer, honestly, I did not think it was possible for me to feel any more pain than I've felt before.
Hmm.
Every single thing hurt. I told people the only thing that did not hurt was my eyes in my head and my vagina. Everything.
Oh my
I, I,
goodness.
I told people that everything else was in pain. You understand me? Those two, for some reason, they were spared. You understand? So it was already such a struggle. So I said to myself, all right, literally people would come and visit Mikey and they would turn their backs. They would not look at me. And literally everybody that called over the phone to my
Hmm.
mom, because the phone was on speaker, their first question from everybody is that, is there anything wrong with her face? And I said to myself, of course I've always had a nice complexion. People fascinated about the complexion for some strange reason. I guess because everybody in that time was bleaching, and I kept mine.
Hmm.
And I started feeling some sort of way because I said, are these people aware that there's more to me than my face? Nobody not ask if, you know,
Right.
anything else. Everybody asking about the
Hmm.
face, anything wrong with her face. And I said, oh my God, these people. You understand? And it kept on
Hmm.
going. And I said to myself, all right, my nose is a little over to the left, but my eyes are intact.
But you had your
And I said,
eyes. Yep.
yes. I said, okay. My bottom lip was dropped in two, but my top lip was still intact. There's so many patchwork stitching up in my mouth. The doctors, the dentists doing their work to save my teeth.
Hmm.
You understand me? So
Right.
it was such a struggle. But I said to myself, all right, one hand basically is not working, but the other is. And that's how I have to break it apart. And I say, okay, it's such a pain to breathe, but I am still breathing.
Hmm.
And as painful as it was, and when I recognized that,
My
because
guest
when
is
I was in
calling
the
me
hospital,
at 7 o'clock.
go again.
My 6 o'clock guest is calling me at 7. She probably had a hard time. I'll talk to her afterwards
Yes, and just reschedule for another
for
time,
another time.
and
Yeah.
chances are that that will be the right time when she's going to come.
Well, there you go. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and and to be really very honest, my hour is done, and we really only scratched the surface because we talked about we talked about what's happened to make us feel that we had lost the power, but we didn't get too much of a chance to talk about what can we do to get the power back. Little things. I mean, so maybe that's could wheel and come again when
Okay.
my guest Julie decides to come on. But I really absolutely thank you. But no, I'm so glad, Tara, that I'm so glad that you're all right now, because I don't know what we
Yes.
do without you in this scene.
The thing is that this shoulder hurts me every single day since that day, 2012.
Yeah.
But I recall one of the time when the doctor said to me that you won't be able to carry even an handbag, even your handbag. I recall him saying that I won't be able to
Wow.
carry not even a handbag. And I recall going back to in my head, I said
Mhm.
to myself, watch me. I don't want a piece of my body, I want a working body. It's just that I
Of
could not
course.
open my
Oh
mouth
yeah.
and verbalize it. And I recall even quickly the very first day I remember my daughter asked me for fried dumpling, and I said, but I can't make it, because the hand is not working. One of my hand is not working. How am I going to make this fried dumpling? And I said, all right, I'm going to show her. I'm going to tell her what to do at the time because I could mumble. Um,
Uh-huh.
there are so many parts of it that, I have to be skipping over because I know your time come. And I remember the day I asked her to put the flour in the bowl, get me the
Hmm.
water, the baking powder, and come. And I had to use my right hand to lift my left hand, open my fingers, and place it on the bowl, and kind of use my right hand to clamp it on the bowl to see if I could hold it. And I kid you not,
Mm-hmm.
I struggled through and I mixed that dumpling, I mixed that flour, that dough,
There you
and
go.
I fried that dumpling. But can I tell you, it's the ugliest dumpling in the universe. You understand me? But they were fried. I
Oh
was able
yes.
to put them in there and I felt so accomplished. And I said, God, yes,
Here you go. So
yes,
something about determining to not stay at that stage
there
and
you go.
wanting to get past the situation. So there's a determination that you have to have so that you can get your power back.
You have to have that, or else, as well as people need to understand this, the people who are around you plays an integral role in you getting up.
Oh
Because you
yeah.
see, looking at my child, my
She's
mother,
looking to
God bless
you.
her soul, is a champion of all champions. I'm telling you. And I just thank God for her. My siblings, oh my God, I could not ask for more. So that little part, and I'm not somebody that has a lot of friends, but the few that I have, oh mercy,
Hmm.
I am telling. So I know that even through it all, I was blessed. You understand me? And I
There
try
you
to,
go.
mind you, I'm not going to pretend like it is easy. It was hard as hell because if you want to go to the bathroom, somebody has to assist you,
To
else
help
you
you.
can't
I
make
know.
it. You
Yeah. I,
understand
I
me?
mean, I just realized, yeah, it started to
Hmm.
remind me of when I fell from the escalator. I mean, it was a terrible situation too.
Yes.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, and even when I just came out, just wanting to say things, and you realize that you can't say it. And of course, you know, I have a business where I bake. Even the
Right.
raisin bread, I was determined sometime after that I have to learn to
To do
make it
it.
how I want it because
Yeah.
that was the first time I've ever eaten raisin bread. I don't know how my mother discovered that, but it was soft and I could not chew. So what would be done was just break it off in small bits and like a ball and throw it in the back of my throat and my saliva would soften it and I swallow.
Oh wow.
because I could not, and you understand me? So when I got to and I said, okay, I'm going to do this, I said, I need to learn because that has so much significance for me. You
Right.
understand me? And then you have many people who come and say, even one of my friend at the time said to me, say, Tara, don't take this the wrong way, but God know why are you in an accident. She said, if I'm me dead,
Well, there
you
you go.
understand? And
Yeah.
whatever. But guess what? You have to have a determined
You have to be
spirit.
determined. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
You have
yes.
to have a sense of purpose.
Sense
If
of
you don't have a
purpose.
sense
Yeah,
of
because that was
purpose,
the same
it
thing in my incident. I had a sense of purpose. I wanted
mhm,
there was something I wanted to accomplish, and I just wanted to feel that it doesn't matter what those obstacles were. I was
mhm.
just going to defeat them, and I was going to go forward.
Yeah, because that is what it has to be.
Oh yeah,
Determination
yeah.
is you're done. It makes no sense.
No,
And that is what it is. The people who are around you important. They are very important. And if they are not of a certain ilk where certain things are concerned, it makes no sense because they also are
play a
main
part.
contributors in
Yeah,
you getting up. So
and get on your
just
feet
just
again.
put when you find that yourself in that space, just put your eyes on the target, and
Oh yeah, put
understand
your
that
eyes on
this
the
is the
prize.
reason why, yes, why I have to be there. Also know too, because when I was in the hospital, I had 15 doctors looking after me. You understand me? So you know it's not anything pretty. When they want to move me, they count
Hmm.
one, two, three, and they leave because I was strapped to a piece of board.
Hmm.
You understand? And
Yep.
even when I was being discharged, I remember they gathered and they said that Anglin came out and she said that I have been a doctor for many years and I've seen people come through this hospital door with way less than what you came in with, and they don't live to walk back through that door.
Right.
Count yourself lucky. I could not respond at the time, but I remember in my head I said, I am not lucky. I am blessed.
I am blessed.
Luck
Oh
has
yeah. And
nothing to
that's
do
the
with that.
attitude you need to have too. If you have
Yes,
that attitude, then you can definitely reach after your power and get it back.
yes.
Yeah.
And I wanted to open my mouth and say that so badly, but I could not. But somewhere in my head, it was something that I said. "Mm." And I remember I said, watch me squash this because it was such a hard time. And while I was in the hospital, I was flanked by two of my students from my science class. They were in a different accident somewhere. One got her leg broken in three different places on one foot, and then the other was broken in two. The other one got both her legs pulled out from in the hip.
Mm.
And those two were beside me, and the pain and agony that those girls were in, it just added to mine. Because you could hear the cry when the nurse come and touch them, and that it was, so it took much. And then when you see people care, it forces
Yeah.
you to look up, to
Yeah.
understand that there's a reason why you're still here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
take nothing for granted because I remember the morning, it was the morning of a brand new job. I was
Hmm.
just starting at a different school. That was supposed to be the first morning of the job.
Hmm.
And I remember I opened the grill and I went out, dressed in a nice pie killer, I feel cute and stay so.
I know.
and I and I felt my lips felt dry and I turned back and I went in to reapply lip gloss to my lips and so on and looking around I feel cute. And I came back
Hmm.
out. And I mentioned this quickly before I stop talking, because this is for another time. And I recall after the accident, when me have to put lip gloss on, but I don't have nothing to put lip gloss on. As a matter of fact, I did not know that my face could come back too. I
Mm.
went when I could walk and so on. I went back in search for that doctor and I told him 3 times, thank you so, so much. Because I said
Mm.
to myself, look how we take simple things for granted. Just granted. I was
Mm.
fussing about my flipping lips. You understand me and how dry they look. And then in a split seconds, I wasn't
You
even
almost
sure
never
that
had
lips were
lips.
there. You understand
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, you see, we have to just go take life as it comes.
As it
Be good
comes.
to who you can be good to. Be
Mm-hmm.
kind as best as possible. Help anybody who you can help and
Oh yeah.
be gracious. Make sure say gratitude is an
It's a
attitude for
must.
you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You
All right,
understand me?
Tara.
And just display. Yes, go ahead, Mikey.
Go ahead. Well, I'm thinking of you because you have your thing at 8 o'clock. It's 17. It's 14 minutes past
Yeah.
7 now. So any minute now we could just wrap it up, baby. I
Yes, so
thank you
I'm
so
just
very much.
yes, so just leaving that word with you guys. Make gratitude and attitude for you. You
Oh yeah.
understand me? So at all times try to
Big
display
in getting
an
your power
attitude
back.
of gratitude.
Gratitude.
But
Uh-huh.
guess what? Be determined. And if you are going through stuff and you're still above ground, that means that God has a plan for you
Yeah,
and
man.
is still not done with you yet.
Not done
Remember that
indeed
your
yet.
purpose is not yet fulfilled. Stand
Purpose
up.
is not yet
You
fulfilled.
understand me? And find the second gear, the third gear, and the fourth gear if you have to. You understand me? And if you need to go up the hill like some old truck when run by Kirsten Isle, you take your time and you go up the hill.
Oh
You
yeah.
understand me?
Oh yeah.
Because when you get to certain point, just remember that baby steps are okay. You
Oh
don't
yeah.
need to take any leap, figure land for your belly or your chin. Just
Hmm.
take your time.
Baby
Baby
steps
steps are
un-
okay. And
until
when
until
you
you can
get to
get.
a point of recovery, when you
Hmm.
get to a point where your shoulders are square and your head is held high, don't
Right.
you ever forget those who were instrumental in helping you regain your footing.
Oh
Never
yes.
you forget those who encourage you even when you yourself lack courage. Never ever you forget those people who stand before you and dare you to come to meet them at that line down there.
Right.
Always remember those people, and above all, remember that God has been good to you. He
Oh
owes
yeah.
you nothing, but
Oh
because
yeah.
He's gracious, He allows you
Yep.
to come through. And this is my last word. Thank you very much, Mikey.
Right. Thank you
And
so
I'm
much,
going
Tara.
to.
Thank you for joining me. I think, I'm beginning to think that maybe I could get a panel the next time for this because it's a great topic, I think. I think lots of people and lots of people need to understand that the situation that we have been forced to be in right now, because I mean, I don't know, baby, but it doesn't seem as though it's getting much better. New strains are coming, so there is more lockdown to come, maybe. But
Hmm.
we have to understand that we're not going to be powerless. We are going to take our power back, and whatever
Yes.
it takes. And as Tara said,
Sensible decisions.
yeah, and
Sensible
if it
decisions.
means making baby steps, we're gonna take baby steps, but we're gonna take our power back. And it
Hmm.
is like on that note that I'm gonna I'm gonna close off for this afternoon, but I'm gonna say round two is definitely going to come. I can't understand why my guest didn't make it, but everything happens for a reason. I'm just gonna think that maybe I can revisit it. And if I could get man, I don't want to throw it out again, tired, I don't want to wear you out. But if you wanted to come back for the panel, maybe we could get a panel because I'm sure there are people who have different situations that took them off a little bit
Well,
and
Mikey,
fought to get the power back. And
you
everybody
know
for
I don't
encouragement.
mind.
I know. Right. I think we could revisit. This is, I think, the more I think about it, I really realize because all I want to do is encourage people and help them to understand that hope is there. And when once you get over the hurdle, you can even laugh. Take a
Yes, certainly. Just skin your teeth like there's no
Oh my
tomorrow.
goodness. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, because that man made me drive to Mandeville and then decided that he wasn't so sure and made me, man, I really cried. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I really cried. I felt as though he was just dragging me back and forth. And
Hmm.
I didn't realize that I was a pregnant woman too. But I'm not going to lie to you. Making the $1 million round table 6 months into that pregnancy was one of the best things that I've ever done for myself. And I realized that it was what I was thinking was an adverse situation that was propelling me so hard to get my power back.
From bad comfort good, no?
Oh yes, I don't want to call it bad, but from a situation that is kind of disturbing. Yes, I thank you so much for
From
coming.
uncertainty to certainty.
From uncertainty to certainty. I want to thank all the people who sat with me. Teacher Pete Downer, you're gonna have to come back because we're wrapping it up. But we're glad to have you. But I know Tara has her gig at 8. She needs a little chance to breathe, and well, I just really just don't want to keep my life longer than an hour is enough. I thank you so much, Tara. And I want to thank everybody who came. I hope you got a chance to meet and mingle. I thank you so much. I'll keep you posted. I think I'm going to revisit this topic again because I think it is so rich. Getting your power back. Maybe Teacher Pete Downer could come on the panel. You never know. Yeah, because I think lots of us have had situations that could have kept us defeated, but we were so determined that we're not going to be. And in the process, we jumped up and now we are energized because we took the power back. I thank you so much.
Amen.
Oh yeah. All
All
right. And
right.
for anybody who's on the chat, Tara J Blogs and Dialogues goes to live at 8 p.m. So head on over and make yourselves at home. I want to thank you so very much again, Tara, for coming. And I want to thank everybody who was in the audience. I wish you a good night, and I'm going to sign off for now. But listen, guys, irrespective of what your circumstances are right now, even if you feel a little deflated, get the determination, give off the attitude of gratitude so that you can really take your power back. I thank you all
Amen.
so much. Thank you, Tara. I'll see you later.
All right, darling.